So the other day, a lot of people have been calling me a Wuthering Waves shill. Can you believe that? That's insane, right? And so I had a clip go out on my channel, More Tectone, which I've never talked about before. But this channel is fucking ridiculous. It actually gets nearly the same amount of views as my main channel gets. This channel gets 5.5 million views a month. My main channel gets 9 million views a month. Ridiculous. It's doing very well. Don't go subscribe to it unless you want to watch the clips. I don't want any dead fucking subs. But yeah, I keep this channel a secret, and I post a lot more variety content on here and a lot of clips from my stream, right? And a lot of people were saying that I was a shill. I've seen a lot of people say this. It's doing very well. Don't go subscribe unless you want clips. Miz, shut the fuck up. Get him out of my chat. Yo, what do you want, dude? What do you want, man? Like, oh, dude, do I really have to talk to you before you fucking raid me? Like, Jesus Christ, just leave. Holy fuck. Mods, fucking time him out. He's gonna fucking derail my brain. Just, okay, anyways. So a lot of people have been calling me a shill for Wuthering Waves. So here's a very interesting point, okay? So what they say is, you shit on Genshin all the time, yet you praise Wuthering Waves. You're such a shill. Well, the reason why that is because Genshin Impact has flaws that have existed for 4 years and they never change. And Wuthering Waves has flaws, and the developers in 4 days, guys, have put out 5 hot fixes, 2 apologies on a community note, compensation 3 times, and given us a free 5-star selector. Obviously, both games have their flaws, but obviously one game is listening to the community and the other one simply isn't. And if there's one thing that I like, it's communication with developers that I fucking trust. And they are obviously very apologetic and they really want to make the story good. They've even apologized for some of the voiceover direction, and they're also looking into changing that as well. Now, I will say a lot of y'all who are critical on the story, you're very correct in your own right. However, if you have not finished Act 6 of the story, which I believe to beat all the acts in the story should probably take around 4 or 5 hours, highly recommend everybody go do Act 6 because it's very, very, very good. Incredible. Like, it competes with like Genshin storytelling. I think even Act 6 competes with some of Honkai Star Rail's storytelling as well, but a lot faster, a lot more breakneck speed for the delivery of that. I still prefer Honkai Star Rail's story, but Act 6 of Wuthering Waves was such a great step in the right direction. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. Really good. I recommend everybody check it out. But I am not one guy who's going to ignore criticism. I'm not someone who's going to see negative feedback and ignore it and hope it goes away. I would like to address every single concern that anybody has. And if anybody wants to point at my hypocrisy, I would highly recommend that you do that. I love seeing what my chat has to say, and that's why I like making videos. So one of the things that people said is that I've been shilling for Wuthering Waves. Okay, and they're saying I've been overly positive about everything. All right, let's just address that real quick. So after this was said, I would like to also say that I put out a YouTube video, talked at length about this on stream, and have even gone even further to rate the entire game at its very core, pre-existing any of these comments, with this rating right here. Okay, now if I was a shill, what I would have done is I would say Wuthering Waves is a perfect 10 out of 10 with no issues whatsoever. Download today using my content credit code Tectone. But no, I didn't do that. What I did was I gave the story a 4 of 10. Now, if you think me giving the story a 4 of 10 is shilling the game, I really don't know what you want me to say. It turns up to an 8 for Scar, falls off shortly after, picks up again for Camellia, falls off shortly after, and then Act 6 is an absolute 9 of 10 for a beautiful story to be told. Has its highs and lows. Combat, 10 out of 10. That is not shilling, that is stating a fucking fact. Okay, that is stating a fucking fact. The combat for this game is fucking perfect. World, 9 of 10. If you are not blown away with the world that Wuthering Waves has given us in the very first version update, I don't know what you want me to tell you. This compared to Genshin Impact completely blows it out of the fucking water. If you've seen this zone during Act 6 story quest, this shit is going to blow your mind when all the rivers are blood. There's a fucking moon, purple moon in the sky. The entire night sky is pitch black with fucking Mechazoid Gundam Rock Demon in the background. Don't spoil, well, they can eat a dick. I don't care. This zone is perfect. The game's been out for 5 days, guys. And hey, man, they're telling me my world is a low rating. Okay, well, if they're telling me it's a world rating, they surely must have seen it all. Clearly, they fucking haven't. Now, I will say this. I think the music should not be an 8 out of 10 anymore. I think it should go down to a 7 of 10. It's very good for a cozy, relaxing gaming experience, but I do understand with people wanted it to pack more of a punch like it does in PGR, and to that I'll say, maybe give it a little bit for music. I still think the music is very good for a somber, relaxing vibe, but if people want something more intense, I'd say give it a little bit, wait for some boss fights, that'll come around. I still think it's very good though. Voice acting, 6 of 10. Now, Gian and Scar are VIPs, I put that in the addendum obviously. There are some very low lows for the voice acting, obviously due to the voice direction. Voice actors can only operate within the confines of the game and confines of the directors of what they're told to do. They really don't have as much control as you might think, and they can only perform in the way that they are allowed to do so, right? So voice actors like Yang, obviously a lot of people have complaints about that, but she's operating within the confines of what she's allowed to do. It's really not her fault, okay? But obviously the voice acting needs a lot of work. Character design, 8 to 10. Obviously I would have put 10 to 10 is good. Told you guys that the male designs are very, very, very good, the best in Gacha. However, the female designs leave a little bit to be desired. Obviously, when compared to Honkai Star Rail like Kafka, Yelan, Yai Miko, obviously blowing out any of the females out of the roster besides female Rover. Love female Rover's design. Also, Verina's design, what the fuck is that? It's fucking terrible. Still gonna pull for her though because I really like the lore of her character, as well as Yin Lin coming out and halfway through 1.0, who I think is the best female in Wuthering Waves, who is in my top 3 waifus of all of Gacha. Fucking beautiful character. I'm a huge sucker for the dots below the eyes. That's why I really like Sparkle as well. Okay, movement, 10 out of 10. If you've played the game, you know that's the truth. You can move it very quickly, it's very fluid, and you're very rarely ever stuck there walking slowly. There's usually a way to traverse very quickly, okay? Movement is perfect. PC performance, for me, is an 8 of 10. I can't tell you what your PC performance is. For me, it was an 8 of 10. Obviously, I have a 4090, I have a very good computer, and the only thing I've experienced are memory leak in the main city, some lag during one instance of 38 hours of combat, and I glitched into a wall one time. Now, I will say this. There is a very large amount of astroturfing going on in the Wuthering Waves community, which is essentially people going out with an agenda to make Wuthering Waves seem worse than it is for PC performance, and people are really scrutinizing this game to an absurd degree. Now, I legitimately thought that people were just lying about their PC issues, but now I understand it's a very real thing, obviously with it being addressed by the company, because it blows my mind how I've never had an issue. None of my friends have ever had an issue. Less than 8% of my chat have ever had an issue. All of my associates in Austin, Texas have not had any issues. So I understand this one is free to be scrutinized. But the thing that you can't tell me is that you're not going to make me talk about an issue that I've never seen, nor have I had any legitimate proof of. I have seen people talking about it, but I did not see anybody showing it. And I'm not going to go off something unless I believe what I'm saying is to be the truth. I'm never going to complain about an issue that I have not seen. So you cannot get me to weigh in on an issue that I was not a part of or not even educated on. And I tried. I looked up. Every single thing was, this game runs like shit. Source, trust me, bro. But now I've seen more clips of glitching out and games crashing from a lot of people of whom I trust. So for me, this PC performance is an 8 of 10, but now universally, probably a 4 of 10. Now it does work for a lot of people, and feel free to test it for yourself, but it does vary to vary based on your PC. I obviously can't weigh in on that because my PC was working fine. Exploration is a perfect 10 of 10. All of the events, all of the puzzles feel very good to do. Everything feels very fluid. The echoes make you want to explore the map more, and nothing feels annoying to climb for more textured and elevated maps due to the fact that you can sprint up walls and grapple rather than just walking very slowly and then running out of stamina, falling to your death. Very good. The puzzles are a lot of fun. They're very good to get to. But I think you can push the boundaries a little bit more for what you can do. However, they're still good. But puzzles like the clock one, where it's just like you turn it and you line it up and then it's done, are a little bit lame. I think the ones that are very good are the cube smack. I also really like where you have to solve the squares and connect the lines. And then I also very much enjoy the ones where you take the Tetris blocks and you plug them in. But I agree they can be a little bit, you can push the boundaries a little bit more. I don't think this post as a shilling post. I can see you may be scrutinizing the music and the PC performance, but saying that I'm a shill with these takes are a little bit insane. Yeah, the camera lock on a bunch of boss fights and mobs is awful, especially Morning, AX, and Memphis. Fob, once again, I have never ran into those issues. The only issue I have ever ran into for lock on is I was locking onto a bear. I tried to unlock, but I didn't realize that I just have to hold the lock to unlock it. I have not had that camera issue yet. I cannot speak on that yet, but I'm sure I will get there. Once again, keep in mind, I have about 42 hours into the game. I've played for 4 days so far. So I would like to really go down here real quick because there was a comment that I really much wanted to address. Honestly, Gotcha Smack, Mr. Pokey, and Asmon seem to be the only people capable of not giving a biased take on the game. Tectone is absolutely shilling for Wuwa. If he likes the game, that's perfectly fine. However, to constantly undermine people's complaints as Genshin retard is just so hypocritical when that exact same behavior that Genshin fans have done over Endgame and Anniversary Watch. Hold up. Dude has streamed 24 hours plus, so I believe his feelings on Wuwa is genuine. I just wish he'd acknowledge the flaws rather than doing so, accompanying them with backhand and compliment. Okay, this is the most brainless take I've ever said, or I've ever seen. And here's why. I have already addressed all of the issues with the story and the voice acting, okay? Those are the major issues. I was ignorant of the fact of the PC issues. I've now become aware of them. Now I know. Very simple. The reason why me saying people's complaints is a Genshin tard take, let me explain to you why, is because people are complaining about this game's issues that Genshin players already have, okay? You can't complain about low rewards, especially when a company has given you 5 stars. You can't complain that the chests are only giving you 10 gems. That makes no sense. The exact same thing happens in Genshin. It makes no sense whatsoever. Okay, you also, here's what I really don't get. You really can't complain about the story. And let me tell you why I don't think it's fair for the Genshin Impact players to complain about the story. You can't tell me that a game that has the Aranaka quest is good. You can't tell me when the quest structure of Wuthering Waves, or for Genshin Impact, is 90% unbearable bullshit, and then one good cutscene, and say, Genshin's story is incredible. Now, if you were to say, Wuthering Waves' story is horrible compared to Honkai Star Rail, sure, you could say that pre-Act 6, but Genshin storytelling is, and has always been, fucking terrible. It's always been fucking awful. The story was so bad in Genshin Impact that I quit the fucking game in Sumeru. Bro, you literally skipped the world quest in Wuwa? What are you talking about? Guys, I skip the unvoiced quest in every single game besides Genshin Impact. Do you want to know why? Because there's not a fucking skip button. If there was a skip button for the unvoiced quest in Genshin Impact, I would skip that shit too because they're terrible. It is a rule, and I say this every day. If the game didn't care enough to voice these quests, then I don't care enough to read it. I do that for every single fucking game. And you sit here and you want to claim hypocrisy, but if you were to take my dick out of your mouth for 5 seconds and just think, I've always done that. And if that's not the case, show me 3 instances of me reading a side quest that's unvoiced in Genshin Impact, post 4.0, post 3.0, post 2.0. Show me that. Show me doing that. If I'm being a hypocrite, because I have said that line so many fucking times, and you're doing this as a gotcha moment, but the reality is you all want me to hate, not all of you, some of you want me to hate this game so much because you want me to be wrong. But I'm sorry to tell you, this game is fucking amazing. Especially in gotcha terms, the combat blows me out of the fucking water. It feels fluid every single fucking time. But you people are so fixated on wanting this game to be bad, you are willing to remove all logic from your mind and say, Tectone has this take that he's never said, and he's being a hypocrite going against a thing he's never said. So I really don't know what you mean by this. And before you say, first of all, I think Gotcha Smack and Asmon are giving great takes on Wuwa, absolutely. Mr. Pokey, however, bro said that Paimon is better than Pom Pom, and little bro cannot be trusted. Okay, I'm gonna just keep it a buck. Okay, I'm gonna just keep it a buck. Okay, you cannot say that shit at fucking all. Okay, so the only time I say that this take right here, When I call someone a Genshin retard when they complain, it's only because they're being hypocritical and they're holding Wuthering Waves to standards that they themselves wouldn't hold for Genshin Impact. And that's the issue. I call someone a Genshin dumbass if they're enjoying Genshin, complain about something in Wuthering Waves that already exists in Genshin Impact to the same or lesser degree. That is why I call them that. Because when you complain about something over here and you don't complain when the thing that you like has the same issue, it's rules for thee, not for me, and it's cool if you do it, but when I do it, it's a problem. And I don't stand for that. It's a fucking problem. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it, and it's the same thing where people say that Wuthering Waves has all these issues and Genshin never had any issues. Well, there's actually a Google document with every single bug that Genshin Impact has ever fucking had. And let me tell you, saying that it's a small list is a little bit less than truthful. So before you say that Genshin Impact has never had any issues and Wuthering Waves does, why don't you shut the fuck up and just think for 2 seconds? Because you're a liar. You're a liar. And what you're attempting to do is to go onto social media, say there's all these issues that there are. Obviously, the PC optimization is a big issue, but other than that, the game is in a very good fucking state. And these people just need to calm the fuck down. There is not a single take that I've given that I cannot defend my logic for that issue. If you'd like to ask me about why do I feel this way, I will be able to explain it. And that's why when I go live and why I love Twitch is that you can ask me what you think I'm being a little bit short-sighted on. You can ask me how you think I'm being hypocritical. That's why I have my chat pulled up 24/7 and I have it pulled up right here. So I would love to know. Okay, Baldy using misinformation to prove his point. Everything he said can be disproven with one single Reddit post Lamau. Let's see the clip. At least Genshin didn't have major performance issues. So you're saying that having characters have their face deleted, having people be able to go into other people's co-op world with Kaveh and delete artifact domains isn't a serious issue? Okay, everything he said can be disproven in one single Reddit post. This wasn't a bug to begin with. If you read the Reddit post, Hoyo acknowledged that there were fake videos circulating in the community and that people were utilizing illegal plugins. We have confirmed that developers and users of plugins are posting content in the community on video sites, disguising themselves as victims to confuse the public and incite panic. We will deal with such action according to terms of our private policy. Okay, let's say this. Let's say hypothetically that one bug. Let's say hypothetically that one bug didn't exist. Let's give you that before me even checking the source link. Before me even checking it. Disproving one bug does not get rid of all of the other hundreds of bugs and issues that have existed in the game. You don't get to say A, B, C, D are fucked up and then say B isn't fucked up, so A, C, and D are fine. That's just not how it works. That's truly not how it works. And saying that people were utilizing illegal plugins, okay, well, it still happens. So saying, oh, we got hacked, so it's not our fault, okay, well, it still happened. So you really don't get to use that excuse whatsoever. So if you would, my left leg is fine, which means my right leg isn't broken. Exactly. So let me know what other point you think I'm being short-sighted on. Let me know. Because I would agree if you called me a shill if I said this game's perfect and then I couldn't defend my point, or say, oh, I think it's really good because I like it. But the reality is I have a backing to say whatever it is that I want to say, and that's why I enjoy these comments. And that's why I enjoy my interactive community. So I would love to know anything. If there's anything, and let me tell you, there's not a little bit of people here. There's 11,000 people here. If you think there is anything that I am being short-sighted on, if you think there's anything I'm overhyping, let me know. Let me know anything you think I'm being short-sighted on. And feel free to tag me with I would love to answer. People comparing games like Genshin Impact and Wuwa, it's essential to consider the underlying game engines that power these titles. Genshin Impact developed using Unity and Wuwa built on Unreal Engine are often unfairly compared due to the inherent differences in technicality of foundations. Okay, so here's the thing. They chose to pick that engine. It's still completely fine to compare Genshin and Wuwa. If you think it's bad to compare Genshin and Wuwa because they're on different engines, you're just fucking stupid, bro. All right, you're dumb. Obviously, the companies chose what engines they wanted to run it on. It was their confident, very intentional choice. Then it's a fucking skill issue. Like, what do you want me to say? Wu was actually very good. I didn't like it because the story of the story gets much better. The explanation comment very nice. I agree. I think you were overhyping the game, but that's good. I love the game. Okay, let me know what you think I'm overhyping. You say I'm overhyping it, but what do you think I'm overhyping? Because when you do vague statements like you're overhyping the game, well, that doesn't tell me anything. So if you can tell me specifically what you think I'm wrong on, because when I give out a very cohesive rating, no, I mean, that's good. Okay. When you say I'm overhyping something, that's a negative comment because I'm not overhyping it. I'm merely saying how good it is. So that's not overhyping it. That's just hyping it. See, comments like these are what cause issues. Yeah, I think you overglazing Scar. I think he's an ugly chipmunk looking motherfucker. Genshin Lin clears. Okay. Now I will say, Geshu is beautiful. Keep Scar's name out of your fucking mouth. I love that dude. I'm also having the voice actor on my podcast later. I think Wu-Wa is fun as fuck, but I think the game can be criticized for its issues. I agree. Which issues? While also recognizing Genshin and other games have a lot of these same issues. Credit where credit is due. The devs have been far more transparent and receptive to criticism than any other devs easily. I 1,000,000% agree. Now, I do believe I've done a very fair job of saying the pros and cons of this game, right? I think if anybody said this game is perfect with no issues, they are completely wrong. But I believe I've already highlighted every single issue. And if you guys think there is an issue that I still haven't touched on yet, feel free to let me know. But I feel like I've done a very fair job of doing this. What do you think is Scar gay? Scar's not gay. There's no way. Alex got Alto to join. Dude, Alto, Scar, and Gian would be insane. Do you think that computer issues really that important? I mean, obviously it would be good for this game to be able to run on lower engines. Obviously, more players equals more better. Yeah, why is Fob streaming but still here? Well, I mean, it is what it is. He's a fan. It's all good. Off topic, but the official Wu-Wa DC server can reduce their cooldowns. It's freaking 5 minutes in general chat and 6 hours in help channel. That has nothing to do with what's going on here. Yeah, I do hope it goes up to 120 FPS soon. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna repeat what I said. I love Genshin, but I have some unskippable content that is unbearable sometimes. There's some fun content, etc., but Wu-Wa is blowing it out of the water. Perfect communication in regards to suiting their audience. Movement, combat, exploration, 10 out of 10. The story is all right for the very first version. Genshin needs a lot of work, and I just hope the game is some sort of huge wake-up call for them. Well, they're trying really hard now. Game is 100% worth the hype. And now, once again, I don't know if you guys are seeing me dodge comments. I have my chat pulled up to 11,000 fucking people. So, if there is anything you think I'm overhyping, if you think there's anything that I'm ignoring, please ask. Because I'm trying to give Wuthering Waves a fair rating. And I think saying Wuthering Waves is a 8 out of 10 gotcha is pretty fucking fair. So, is there anything else? Is ping issue solved? So the ping issue doesn't really matter in single player, like when you're playing by yourself, right? I'm not sure if the ping issue is solved for multiplayer, but in the single player your world, it's not really gonna affect you pretty much at all. Shinies, no, there are shinies. There's 6 of them in the game. Asmund to take is the fairest because he doesn't have monetary incentive to hype up Wu-Wa. Nor do I. I've already received my compensation for the 2 sponsored streams. I have no more. I don't receive any compensation whatsoever for praising Wu-Wa, nor was I required to. They even said in the contract that I was allowed to be critical. Yes, you do? Okay, where? Okay. How? Explain to me how. You said you've made 50K off the release of this game. Yep. Absolutely, by streaming it. But whether I would be streaming it being positive or streaming it being negative, that 50K would not have changed. So saying that I made 50,000 off of playing the game is very different than saying you were paid 50,000 to play the game and be positive. That is not a thing that happened. You don't know how that money works. The reason why I made $50,000 is due to the fact that my chat gives me 12,000 subs. That is not from the company. That is not via any corporation whatsoever. That is from my chat. People wouldn't watch you play a game that you won't enjoy. Really, then why do people watch me play Genshin Impact? Why do people watch me criticize Genshin Impact constantly? Simply not true. Why do people watch me play only up? People will watch me regardless. So, you all good? Would you like to give me any more gotcha moments? I promise you, people are going to watch me regardless. It is what it is. But there's a big difference in saying that you were paid 50K to act this way versus you earned 50K by merely playing the game and being a good content creator. Okay? Huge difference. If that's the case, right? then you would also say, and let me tell you why, Zach would still be monetarily advised to play Wuthering Waves due to the viewership of a current launch of a game that's going to affect his past 28 days of concurrent viewership, which will lead him to make money in the future off of future sponsorships. So if that's the case, then nobody playing the game can give you an accurate take. That's why your take is bullshit, and that's why you can't type. Because you know you're wrong, because you think you know how money works, you don't. So, please explain how I'm wrong. I'm gonna give you 10 seconds to respond, and then you can say, my bad. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now there's two options. Either he's dumbfounded, has no idea what he said, or he's too mad at himself. In which case, apologies to everybody in Overwatch 2 who just lost their rank game. This is what happens when you try to come to me and get me in a gotcha scenario. It doesn't work. It's never gonna fucking work. Now, I'm not gonna ban you because I think you're just stupid. And that's okay, right? And this gave me the opportunity to explain something to somebody who's fucking stupid. Any other people think they can catch me in hypocrisy? Is there anybody else? Is there anybody else? True, but the problem is your takes provide an excruciating amount of logic in a society that lacks it. Yep. These haters not taking into account the future of the game. If devs are transparent as this well, make all the changes that matter how the game will be in a year. I know. Like, you would think that Wuthering Waves just got more patches in 4 days than Genshin Impact gets in 18 weeks. Right? I think you might have low expectations for Wua's music as something memorable that you listen to outside of the game, which Genshin does have. I agree. Upon further consideration, I do think Genshin's music is a bit more memorable. However, for 1.0 of Genshin Impact, the only memorable song that I have in my head is Mondstadt's main theme. Other than that, I don't remember shit. Nothing stands out, right? So Genshin does have that one song. However, in Wuthering Waves, I don't have a single song that's been stuck in my head so far, right? Oh, Dawn Winery. That's another great one. Dawn Winery, Mondstadt, great. I agree, 100%. Dilute Tavern at Night, I got no idea what the fuck that is, unless that's Dawn Winery. Yeah, Dawn Winery kind of slaps. Yeah, I remember back in the day where I was giving an apology to Envy, and I was in Dawn Winery, and then Zadjeff's retard ass comes in and says that I'm being disingenuous because I put on sad music in the background to give my apology, when in reality, bro, I was just walking around Dawn Winery. I have no idea how anybody takes Zadjeff's words seriously. Guy's one of the biggest dumb fucks I've ever met in my entire life. Like, bro wants to be seen as intelligent so bad it's ridiculous. Like, Jesus Christ. Bro is a actual fucking moron. It's insane. Anything else that anybody wants to say at all? Tell us everything you hate about Zadjeff. I hate the way that he walks. I hate the way that he talks. I hate everything about you. What else? Wua's a solid 7. You could say Wua's a solid 7 in comparison to like real games, like non-gotchas, right? But in the way that a gotcha game works, I feel like Wuthering Waves is a criminal underrating. I'd say it's minimum an 8. Minimum an 8. Anything else? Wua needs a better overworld map. So here's the great thing that's already coming. Okay? That is already coming. Genshin made us wait 3 years for an improved map. That is happening this patch. That was already confirmed by the devs. That is happening this patch. Okay? So is there anything else? Is there anything else? Can you prove Hoyo employees and VAs not being allowed to play or voice Wua? Why the fuck would I know anything about that? Why would I know anything about that? I'm not a voice actor. I have no idea. So I have no idea anything about that at all. Okay? Is it minpicker friendly? Yes. Sayu debunked it? Great. I don't know who made that claim, but it was debunked, clearly. You have rate Wua, rate Genshin fairly. That's a different video. The story is struggling with the same thing that happened in HSR Space Station Story. Cool and all. The final boss came kind of out of nowhere from lacked any narrative impact. I can get how you would feel that. But you have to admit one thing. It was pretty fucking cool, wasn't it? Like, it was pretty fucking cool. Like, let's be real. Right? Let's be real. Okay? The whole Wuthering Waves final act, it was pretty fucking awesome. Okay. Difficulty was overhyped. Realistically, it's like slightly harder than Genshin content, but it's a bit more fun. I agree. However, I have been saying that since before release. I said people were saying that Wuthering Waves is going to be a lot harder than it is, and I also specifically said everything is going to be able to be outgeared. I have said that since before day one. So that is a other people's issue. I never told y'all that, and if I did, I corrected it. But it does get harder the more you play. It does get harder. Wuwa Dark MC, I think that the main character for Wuthering Waves is aesthetically the best character ever made out of Hoyoverse or Kura. Anything else? Just curious, why does mint picking in Genshin and Wuwa mean? Heard it a few times, never understood what it means. Probably stupid for not knowing. So before, I would call other streamers a fucking mint picker because these dudes would just go around the map, not say anything, and then just collect mint and berries, and they would get 4 to 5K viewers. So mint picker was actually an insult on streamers and viewers who would just watch people walk around and collect mats and mints, like literally just mint and berries. Like they would just pull up and just watch people collect mint berries. That's it. They wouldn't even say anything. I remember this one time there was like talking about like making lasagna. Like who fucking cares? It was miserable fucking content. But now mint picker is a Genshin slur for a Genshin apologist. And essentially what mint pickers do is they say that their game's the best, nothing comes close to their game, and they continue to eat the slop that Genshin Impact has been feeding them for 4 fucking years. Anything else? Is there anything you want me to defend my viewpoint for? Is there anything that you think I'm being hypocritical for? Now, clearly you should know this. If there were something that should have been said, it would be said in mass. This is a public Q&A. Is there anything? I think you're overhyping the story. I literally gave it a 4 of 10. I think you're overhyping the story, even if Act 6 is good, it doesn't excuse 5 acts of shit. I literally gave it a 4 of 10, said it fell off after Scar, said it fell off after Kamalea, and I said Act 6 is great. I literally said that verbatim, so that's not being overhyped. I said the Scar moment's good, the Kamalea moment is good, Act 6 is great. If you think that's overhyping, holy fuck, look at any Doro 44 title and be angry at him, because I promise you what I'm saying is very tame and very reasonable. Is there anything else? If you praise the game, people will be more likely to spend money to get rewards as the game is worth. I think people are going to spend money regardless of whether I praise it or not. Do you agree that Wuwa picked the good thing about Star Rail and implemented it, and also picked some of the bad things on Genshin, fixed it, and implemented it? All that before Hoyo themselves. Yes, I would agree with that. I think you're a hypocrite regarding Arla's story quest and Wuwa main story. So the reason why Arla's story quest wasn't good is because it was completely spoiled 2 weeks before it was done with a cutscene that already revealed the plot twist, leaving players unable to enjoy it. There was even a very popular Reddit post that agreed with me. Not that I think Reddit posts are good indicators of the truth or not, but yes, I couldn't enjoy it whatsoever because all the buildup for that was talking to children, and I'm a 30-year-old man. I don't talk to children. Wuwa's main story. What in regard to the Wuwa main story do you think I'm being hypocritical about? Due to the fact that I have already addressed it in excruciating detail. I have already gone over every single thing. I think that you have just been spamming this for a long time and you didn't want to change your copy pasta. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to give me a specific. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I mean, you said that Arle's story was bad. Okay, I just addressed that. Anything else? Already addressed it. Okay, because I feel like Arlecchino's story quest should be about Arlecchino, but instead you're talking to children, and then the major twist was ruined by a trailer beforehand. Okay? Because the first part was bad. Okay, well, I've already answered that 4 times. I don't know what else you want me to say. Okay. Anything else? Genuine question, if Genshin actually fixes issues, would you go back to it? No, because it's now flawed at a fundamental level. But I am very excited for Natlin, because I think the Pokemon system could be cool if it's implemented correctly. We'll see. Do you think Wuwa has been into HSR? Irrelevant. Anything that you think I'm being a shill for. Anything you're being a shill for. Do you think Wuwa combat will get more in the future? Irrelevant. I'm saying anything right now. Anything you think I'm being hypocritical for. Not a question, but a question on my takes. Right? We're focusing on right now. IMO, the expression apart from movability, which is really good, can be much better than using the new things and moving coming in different dimensions in a better way. Okay, so you agree that mobility is good. Great. Okay. It looks, you give a fair and estimate of how the story was. Excellent. I think the overhyping Wuwa is good. There is no overhyping. It's just saying how the game state actually is. This seems like a very coherent ending. I believe we're both on a mutual understanding. And thank you for asking. I love defending any of the takes that I have. I don't like doing it multiple times. But yeah, hopefully that takes all these fucking mint pickers claiming that I'm a shill because they hate that I like their game, solves it in a very cohesive way. If you feel like I'm overlooking anything, feel free to leave a comment. But hopefully that's everything addressed and everything makes sense. Appreciate you. Good attempt at trying to get me in a hypocritical moment, but I can defend all of my takes. That's why I'll never be caught in a hypocritical moment. See you later. Peace, boys.